Hello, friends. You're welcome to the Wise Builders and My Godly Spouse online weekly platform. My name is Reverend Dolapo Agoradeni. I'm a pastor, I'm a lawyer, and I'm a relationship coach. Is there anything bothering you? Life comes with some challenges sometimes. If you want to rub minds or you want confidential advice, are you single? Do you want to marry? Do you want me to vet your relationship for you? Don't fall a victim. You know, where children of God are, the children of the other side are as well. So, if you know you want to do things right, or you've made a mistake and you want counseling, sometimes quitting is not the best way forward. You need to fight it out in a very godly way. You need a godly counsel. So speak to me after the show. My numbers are on the platform and how you contact me. Thank you very much. Looking forward to see you. Sit back, enjoy this show. It comes weekly on Wednesdays, and I trust you will not regret your time. God bless you all. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's so nice to see you, and it's so nice to be back on this platform. Thank you so much. Good to see you, friends. How are you today? How has been your week or your day? It's amazing. Mine has been very amazing, busy but amazing, and it's good to see you. God bless you. God bless you. Welcome to the Wise Builders, and apologies I'd not been able to come online in the last couple of weeks because of my mission in Africa, but I'm happy to be back home. The Lord be praised. God bless you, Dr. Araba. Ariola Araba. Good evening, man. Good evening, everyone. Good to see you. Tonight we have interesting topic. I wouldn't want us to make it long, so the earlier we discuss it, the better. I hope you brought my snails, ma. I miss you. Karen Hakuch, God bless you. I didn't bring no snail. I don't even bring snail for myself. I brought a lot of goodies, love, hugs, blessing for you. In Jesus' name is good. I didn't bring no snail actually. I wish to. But I didn't. God bless you. All right. Good to see you, everyone. Yeah, good evening, everyone. So tonight, let's just go straight to discuss and what we need to talk about tonight is a life scenario, but I won't go into the story so much. The most important thing we want to talk about is intimacy tonight. Intimacy. It sounds easy. We know anybody can talk about being intimate or what intimacy is all about, but the intricacies of intimacy, we're going to discuss it tonight, and in depthly we're going to talk about it. But there's this guy that's worried or concerned that his spouse, that means his wife, is getting too intimate with our work colleague. So the scenario we're talking about is, I'll quote, my spouse is getting too intimate with our work colleague. I'm suspicious of an affair but unable to prove it. What should I do? Very simple. I'll read it again. This gentleman said, and flip over, it could be a woman as well. But this one we're discussing tonight is, my spouse is getting too intimate with our work colleague. I'm suspicious of an affair but unable to prove it. What can I do? Good evening, Instagram. Good evening, everyone. So tonight, we need to do justice to this topic. Please drop a line. Let your keypads and your hands start typing. What do we do? Yeah, that's true. He said his spouse is getting intimate. So what is intimacy? To an extent, it involves some kind of closeness. So this man is suspicious, but give it to him and we appreciate him. God bless men like that is trying to find knowledge. He's trying to find out more. At least he's still hiding his feelings. He's worried, he's concerned. When he spoke to me, And the areas he went into, I feel, is getting too close as well, too close for comfort. But at least he's a gentleman. And before confronting her, they've had issues about it, they've discussed about it, but he's still been very polite and very civil about the whole thing. Some men will even lash out, some men will start calling their wives names, some men will even slap her because they've had heated arguments. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Awa. Maybe it's time for them to talk. Yes, I think so. I think that's going to be the next. They've discussed about it, but not as a roundtable discussion. Is express his concern, his challenge I want us subtly, once or twice to say this doesn't seem on, and she's defending it like they're close. Okay, the wife works with she works in an IT company, and she works with this colleague of hers, maybe same rank. So they pair them together, and work takes them outside of their states, where they live, where they reside. It takes them offshore or whatever, and they go together. And then all the pictures that the lady comes back with features the guy. They eat together, they work together, they do everything together. And even whilst back at home, the guy keeps calling because they are working on projects together. So if care is not taken, because I had to probe and try to say maybe it still work, but I said when a man is suspicious, a man is suspicious. We know African men, and he feels that there are times that they're talking or they're giggling or they're saying things, and he walks through the door, and then they try. According to him, they're trying to change the topic. But how would he know that that wasn't the topic? But he just feels. But let's not rubbish whatever he's saying. In all fairness, I have a feeling that he obviously is the one that knows what's going on. So I have a feeling that he has some good points, but how far that can be true or how far that is true is what we're not sure of. So what do we think? I think it's time to, like Dr. Araba said, it's time for them to talk. It's time for them to call themselves together to talk seriously. But the guy has, in fact, as a matter of fact, he's suspecting that the child, because they married. God help us with all these jobs that we do nowadays. They married, and she was working for this IT company, and she had to travel, and she went with this guy. When she came back, she was, according to him, if you the child, he's not even sure if that child is his. So his suspicion is really going wild. But let's give it to him again, like I said, that is a civil, mature man that is still trying to see. But if he's strongly of the opinion that there's something between them, which let's not rule it out. There could be something between them, because if you're a married woman, there's a kind of, which we'll get to in a minute. I'm just trying to lay the foundation into the topic for tonight. There's some kind of intimacy that you shouldn't get to, if you're a married woman, yeah, you travel. And I remember those days that I used to travel a lot. I used to go for businesses. I would travel Dubai, China, and stuff like that. I make sure, though it was only me going, but I made sure it was so transparent. My husband would book my hotel. He wasn't there with me, but I would normally come back to recount everything. And then even pictures. You see, there's some kind of transparency that you do, or that makes the guy to be at ease and with trust. But it looks like trust is now dwindling here in this relationship. Yeah, okay, there's okay, Dr. Arba said, or get someone else they put respect involved. Yes, yes, I think obviously the woman doesn't know me. I've spoken to the guy, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get involved in, if she's going to allow a third party. But obviously, like you said, we can always refer them. But the problem with people nowadays is even their pastors, they don't want to go to them. They don't want to get to people they know, and this guy is, that's why I think that's why he reached out to me, and he's trying to seek my counsel. But whether I'll suggest that to him if he wants me to have a word with the lady to find out. But the way things are going is so tense between them. So I don't know what we're going to do in that regard. Are there any boundaries in this work relationship? I don't think so. I don't think so. From what he recounted, I don't think there's any boundary, because obviously your employer will send you out. I think it's down to us to individuals to lay down boundaries. Anything outside of work cannot guarantee that. But as a married woman, I think, or a married man, or when we're in a relationship, we should know what boundaries are. Some people just don't have boundaries. And no matter, you see, we can say devil has tempted, no matter whatever we expose ourselves to, you know, comes back to haunt us or to make or mar us. Because in this kind of situation, she knows that she's a married woman, giggling with a man, walking hand in hand, going to restaurant. The guy said there's no time he calls her to check on her anytime she's away, that the guy will not be around, and they're still working till 9 p.m. and stuff like that. So I thought, if you caught them once, or not really catching them in the act, but calling them, apologies, that buffered a little bit. So thanks, Dr. Araba. Sorry to go. God bless you. So intimacy. I'll define what intimacy is all about, because this brought something to light, and like I always do, I'll just teach generally or discuss generally on that topic. So intimacy means deeply knowing another person and feeling deeply known by both of you. So when we're talking about state of intimacy, you see, it's knowing somebody deeply, getting too close, and this includes physical closeness, and to many, this quickly get translated to a meaning sexual relationship. So if we are not careful, if we are too close to the or even if you're too close to your friend, you will know what that is. But when we're talking about deeply knowing ourselves, is good when it's superficial, when it's on the surface, when on the a friendship. But for the how close can we get to the opposite sex for you to start feeling uncomfortable? Even if you're single, I think there has to be boundaries. There has to be boundaries. Somebody was saying the other day that a gentleman was speaking to me, that he was married, and he said, I think he's divorced now. So much divorce, God help us. And he was saying things that then in those days that he used to attend church with his wife, with his ex now, that when people wants to, because the woman is, according to him, was busty or is busty, you know. I think she's still busty anyway. So she's busty, and anytime the church and people wants to, is told the wife, don't um don't hug a man chest to chest. Some men don't even know their boundaries. You want to hug a married woman and you are going all like this to her chest. Sometimes it's not, even some of us women, you go through the side. I hug people, but I go through the side, hello, or if it's front, I give gap. No, it's only few front, but that doesn't really mean you can't hug people. But I'm just saying, some men can be very, very jealous, and some women can be very jealous. But when we put these boundaries, in place, then we guide ourselves. So I don't blame this man. Every one of us, human being, we yearn. Men wants to get close to a woman because we want to share our lives with them. So the state of intimacy, if I may just stress it, is something that should be between you and your spouse. Is something you cannot be intimate. When you are talking of intimacy, is a kind of closeness that there's a deep feeling that is known between you. There's some vibrations that is there. You can't be intimate with a friend except you're gay, or you can't. You see, what I mean is, even as far, if I'm very intimate with a female friend of mine, to the extent that we are snogging on each other, hugging every now and then, kissing, then that means we're lesbians, we're gay, which is on another side, is another relationship. But I'm trying to say to us that People that uses that to cover up, she's just my friend, we're intimate. You can't be intimate. The other day I was speaking to a lady and she said, oh, we are not sexting, we are texting. And you're supposed to be in a relationship, in marriage. You can't be sexting or whatever they call it. And you say you are not intimate with you're flirting with somebody. So that intimacy, it includes physical closeness. So however we want to discuss it, let's understand that. And when there's too much of physical closeness between a man and a woman, not otherwise in a relationship, there's something else. I don't know. We have friends. I do men friends a lot. Not I've got buddies that are friends, that men, close. In fact, my confidants are men. Because I see them as mature. They're older than me, some in their 60s, some in the ministry. I feel they're mature, I talk to them, so I do, but there's boundary. We will not be snuck together, we will not be seen at ungodly hour. We will not, you see, there are boundaries to all this. I speak to them. In fact, there's some that don't even call in the night because I know they're married. I can send a text to say, can I have a word? Can I talk? I need something to discuss with you. So those are things that we have to understand. There are other forms of intimacy which I will talk about. We talk about emotional, intellectual, and even spiritual intimacy. Yeah, that is there, especially for some of us that belongs to like a church or a faith group or a mosque or whatever. But what I'm trying to say, if we want to first base that contest on that man, I feel, we're so sorry, I don't know your spouse, but obviously people can say, excuse me, that your concerns or your worries are unfounded, but it seems founded a bit. If you said she came back and all every picture she, a married woman is a married woman. And even if you are not married, you don't have to be married. You don't have to be married. God bless you, sir. God bless you. God bless you, Mr. Olayemi. Bless you. You don't have to be married to somebody. You don't have to be married to respect yourself. So there's some compromise. There's some compromising situation that we put ourselves, or position that we put ourselves. A married woman that goes on holiday, for example, you go to Dubai, excuse me, on a business venture or business plan or business work or whatever you do, and you went with your work colleague and your husband is calling you at 9 p.m. in your room, you even have the audacity. I feel she's innocent, in all fairness, and that was my concern, because I just felt if she has something going with a man, the husband is not there, she'll be dodgy. She'll just tell him she is calling. Or maybe it was video call. I think maybe it was video call and he spotted her. But I feel if there's something she knows is her husband, I'll just go out of the room. Go out of the room, get her, go. But I just feel the lady, so to an extent, it looks like it's not as bad as what the man suspects. But definitely there's too much of closeness and it's getting uncomfortable. And even to the woman, I'll say it doesn't make any sense what she's trying to do, So talking about intimacy generally, let's leave this one in and out. I'll go into our story, but let's talk about intimacy. In a relationship, we can get intimate so much, heart-to-heart conversation, working together. For, a lot of couples now, a lot of couples are not intimate. A lot. So we'll talk tonight about what can be done to make you intimate. Because I asked the man, are you up to task in your marriage? Are you close to your wife? Are you intimate? Because sometimes when we miss something, we look for it outside. Because I was trying to establish whether there's a void in his relationship with his wife. Fortunately, before I came on set, I was speaking to a senior pastor of mine, and we were talking. And we were talking about a particular case, of a mutual friend of ours that we were talking about. And because the lady brought it, we were trying to counsel that person anyways. So he was asking me, what do I feel about it? And one of the things I said tonight is, when you are in a marriage and you have not explored enough, you need to get to that state of vulnerability with your spouse, that both of you speak the same language. I feel when there's a breakdown, either physical or intimate or sexual relationship, we tend to gravitate towards people that are showing us attention outside. For example, if this man is not doing it, what I mean doing it as in doing the right things he ought to do, finding time and exploring the world. If a stranger outside start making overtures to the lady, it's natural. We women, we can be so gullible. I'm sure what she's finding in the man is attention. That is the work colleague. And that's one of the things I was trying to say to our Mr. Man, that are you there for your wife? Because if your wife suddenly picks up, it's a dangerous thing. And I feel it's so concerning, in all fairness. If your spouse suddenly finds an outsider to be a friend, to be that intimate with, because anything, even when they're back in the country, or they're back in their station, she hangs out with this guy weekends on the pretext of work. So she's enjoying the guy, and the guy is single. That's just the unfortunate thing. And I will be jealous if I were the man. So when I think she's found out that the man and herself shares common goal, and then that's increasing the intimacy. So it's very important for you, husband or you wife. This has nothing to do with sexual orientation, whether you're a man or a woman or whatever. It has so much to do with how you're holding up your relationship. So true intimacy involves being honest with your spouse and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Like I said, you need to be vulnerable with each other. You know, as I said, myself and this pastor were talking about a mutual friends issue that we're dealing with at the moment. But of the she's first his friend before mine. So on referral anyway, we're dealing with the case. But the most important thing that we're saying is this lady, you know, is not finding herself, she's not finding comfort and joy in her marriage. She wants out because she's seeing somebody that seems to understand her. And I beg of us, please, let us know that other people are there. I'm just trying to see my Instagram. Okay, if there's any comments, no. Let us understand the fact that other people are there to befriend our spouses. So it's important for you to be intimate. You see, your intimacy is not with that outsider. It's with your spouse. So how do we get intimate? You know, because you know him or her, you trust him not to hurt you. And then you give yourself completely. It's the state of giving yourself completely. Your spouse should be your best friend, your best buddy, your best gist partner, gossip partner, dance partner, hangout partner. You see, when I go out and I see couples, no, we're not faking it. Just, you have to befriend each other. Try to know that person. I see, okay, bless you, I'm waving. I see issues when I note couples and I see a kind of gap in between them. When there's a trouble, if you want to laugh, your husband is not the best of, or your wife is not the first person that you want to say, oh my God, I need to, oh, something's happened at work. You can't wait until you get home. Oh, my mom, I need to talk to my man. I need to talk to my woman. You're excited. And then you're comfortable. You won't tell, even if things are not right, it won't tell you hope. It will find a way. So there's something called emotional intimacy, which I want to talk about. It's a process whereby, because there's different types of intimacy. So I'm talking about tonight the emotional, the intellectual, and I'll try and talk about maybe the spiritual one as well, so that we know how deep intimacy is. Once we're able to cover these grounds, then we won't have that fear. I think the man has lost grip with his wife, and once that happens, then we are suspicious. I'm not saying the wife is doing is right. She's gone overboard. Peradventure, she's just using it to seek his attention, because what woman will know you're married? You go on holiday, your husband is calling you at 9 p.m., you're with this guy in your room, you're picking the call, you're even saying to me, you know, Joseph or John or Shegun is here with me in your room at 9 p.m. in hotel. In fact, no man will hear that and he will not be suspicious. And then when you're back to your station, everything is between you, and you go to work together. Even weekends, he calls you, you're talking, you're giggling. I think there's something going on. It may not be as bad as we thought, or it may still be redeemable, but definitely. So let's talk about emotional intimacy. It's a process whereby couple shares their joy, fears, frustration, sorrow, and even anger with each other. You must be able to be you regarding with your spouse. That is state of intimacy. You have to be. Most of us package so much that to even laugh. I remember a lady was going to marry some years ago, and she said something. It was a matchmaking, and I was there, and she was just doing prim and proper. So there was something, I just realized she was packaging. That was about 7 years ago. So I said to her, I said, why can't you be free? She said, we're still cutting now, and I don't want him to see me all. For example, I cannot fart. Where is there? I said, my days, you need to be you. I'm not saying you should be farting on your spouse to be, but or your boyfriend. But if it happens, just say, excuse me, it happened. Because it's the person you are going to stay the rest of your life with. So some people now, that's courtship. Some people are married today, they cannot scream, they can't be themselves. They are resorting to friends outside. That's the danger when you start having friends outside your marriage. It's good to have friends. I'm not saying don't have friends, but when you are getting your intimacy, long and short, should be towards your spouse. You see, we should find a way to do things. And I love this man. The story we're talking to is concerned that his wife is having an affair, but he's so respectful about it. And I love that. And I hope, let's give him that kudos. And let's hope that all men can take a cue from that and then show respect. The challenge is to find ways to do things like this respectfully. Sometimes it can be so, most of us, we don't want to let our guard down before our spouses, especially some of us don't want to break down. We're bottling so much. But the state of intimacy involves you being vulnerable emotionally to your spouse, not to an outsider. I'm going to read a comment. Thank you. Karina Puch, bless you. I'm sorry to type, but the woman is not justified with her behavior. She can only convince her husband if she is transparent enough for her husband to know the work colleague. And she needs to draw the line to respect the fact that she's married and not single. I don't know how a married woman is so close to a single guy. Say that again. I had concern. In all fairness, I am concerned. The level of close, and she comes back. I think in hindsight, maybe she's trying to use that to correct something, possibly, because I started thinking that what could be going on in her head. Is it that she's done with the marriage, or she's sending a message to the guy? Because the level of giggling and the level of the ways the husband described our relationship with this chap, definitely, I think it's either she's sounding a note or she's a careless one. Some people are just not careless. They're not sounding a note, they're just careless. I'm reading another comment from Instagram. God bless you. That's my friend. Ajayo baby CBC. Good to see you. Long time. Pastor, some people cannot be real in marriage. For example, I was forbidden to fart in my last marriage with my ex. Can you imagine? Thank God for your life and factual. You know, I was saying this lady. Thank you so much. You see, could you tell us why? Why is it because it was him or you? I love this because I say that we shouldn't deceive ourselves. If I'm going to live the rest of my life with you, I won't package. Is it that you don't like me or you like me? And that is the problem. And I feel this lady now found somebody that really understands her or speaks her language. This was exactly what myself and the pastor were saying before I came on set regarding another situation entirely. But obviously, we can adopt it or kind of adapt the situation. That was it. The gentleman said the lady found somebody that suddenly speaks a language. It's good. Maybe one of these days I have to talk about language. Language. I'm not talking of love language. No, I'm not talking of love languages and all those ones. You know, somebody that is you. Most of us wants to be us. You want somebody that understands you. You want somebody that before you say A, they say B. You know, when you wink, the person knows you wink. Do you understand? And these are one of the issues that most women or men are lacking in marriages. And that's what makes some men go and cheat. You know, everything is not about sex. Everything is not about this and that. It just takes you to be very free with this spouse of yours. I'm reading from Instagram, Ajayobe. He gave me a lot of rules to follow in the marriage after we were married. Farting is one of it. Can you imagine? Some men are just not on, and some women too are just not on. So if he says you should not fart, so when he fart wants to come, where do you go? You won't fart on your bed. Yeah, hey, God help us. Me, I will fart you. What's the meaning of that? If fart is coming, I will fart and I will laugh about it. You fart your own. You know? I remember my late husband. Sometimes when I fart, he say, "Hey, you farted. Okay, I'll give you 2 in exchange." You should be yourself now. I can some of us, there's so much pretense, there's no intimacy. You know, it's a Facebook. Karena put said we fart free. We fart free. There is love in sharing. Thank you. There is love, serious love in sharing. You see, it's part of what makes the joy. So, can you imagine? This is on Instagram. Can you imagine when that happens? Thank God for your life. You know, we're not obviously what's done is done. You're no longer in the married, but I'm sure even when you were in the marriage, you were just looking for a way of escape. It looks like you are trapped. And it's not worth it. Spending the rest of your life with a stranger. Packaging, you can't be free. You're not free to be you. You know, so sometimes when people, and those are the things I was trying to speak to the guy, when people resort to doing things outside of their marriage, we are quick to judge them. But you don't know what they are going through, like I always say on this platform. Because when people cannot share their joy, fear, you see, it's even made you want to fart. You can, ordinary farting, you want to. So such person, you'll be so scared. Emotionally, you damage that you're working on what's it called? Eggshell. Around the house. You don't know what gets them angry. You don't know. So I feel maybe this lady, because I was thinking, try to flip things over, and I'm like I said, I've not spoken to her, but the guy wanted us to talk about it so that I can, obviously, I don't know whether it's still on, but whether it's watching now or not, you will watch it later. But one of the things that we want to understand is maybe she's trying to send a message to you. Maybe you've lost it at the place of intimacy. Because it's possible that she just saw a plot, she just saw somebody to help her to put you on your toes. Peradventure, that's what is going on. But she's a dangerous game, because nobody will believe you. How can you go on holiday? No matter what, there should be boundaries. Because who can attest to the fact that there's nothing? No, for me, no matter what point she's trying to set or whatever she's trying to do, that's being together in that hotel room and couple of things, I don't think is acceptable, except she's deliberately sounding a note and she wants out of the marriage. But as far as the guy said, he feels they are cool. He said they do. He says it as well that he's not as close to her as the man. A woman spoke to me about 2, 3 years ago. I remember she came to UK and she was speaking to me about her husband. That her husband, she will make a hair. You see, a woman needs appreciation, and we all want to be loved. Your wife's gone out and she's done her hair and she's come home. You're busy. You are not even looking up to say, baby, you look nice. Or Mama Funke, that's nice. I don't know why you call your wife Mama Funke anyways, you know. Or Dolako, you look nice. Or just say something nice. They'll just look at it. And the woman, she said, and this is a pretty woman, fair, pretty woman, that she'll look at herself. Meanwhile, at work, her close colleague is giving her attention. When she gets to work, he's going to be like, oh, baby, you're pretty. Come on, your husband is enjoying. And she said in her, she'll be crying that which husband? The husband that came into the house and I'm even touching and he's snoring. So if we are not careful, when you don't attend to the need of your spouse, somebody else will do. So that state of intimacy, don't think it's one of emotional intimacy, for example, is one of the strongest bonds in marriage. And if it's violated, it's not good. And that's what is happening now. You cannot afford. It is violated when a spouse shares intimate thoughts and feeling with a friend, co-worker. It's violated. That intimacy is between you and your spouse. When information, when secrets and all those is shared, some women, if their husband sleep with them, they tell their friend. That means the man has lost the place or the woman has lost the place. I know some of us are careless. We talk too much. We're excited. Yeah, you can have friends that you talk to. I'm not saying it's wrong that you have friends. We all have friends that you say, do you know what? And it's, my husband treated me like this and I treated, we all have somebody. Let's not be over spiritual. Let's not be over serious. We all have people in our lives that we have our gist partner. We call them this partner. A gossip partner. You know what happened yesterday? Myself and my husband, we made out, we enjoyed ourselves, maybe one friend or so. But when it becomes every of your life decision, especially the opposite sex, and then everything is, then it's dangerous. It's betrayal. So when you are that close, I know some people may differ, but I feel when you get to that closeness with a third party or an opposite sex, I feel it's too much of intimacy. What this lady has done or is doing is too much of intimacy, and I'm happy every one of us, we agreed on this platform. There's betrayal because your intimacy should be to your husband. So can we share intimate feelings with friends? Or does anybody, I know I've gone in and out of it. Do you want to say anything before I go into intellectual intimacy? Yes, I feel, but if anybody wants to say otherwise, I feel we can share intimate feelings with friends to an extent. Like I said, yesterday, myself and my husband, we made love and it was so good after a long time, all those things. But when you start saying the nitty-gritty, and if it's the opposite sex, and then especially if you start going to opposite sex and you're saying to them that, my husband didn't touch me, this man, my wife did not do this, you are leaving that gap. You cannot afford to. So we can be intimate with our friend a little bit. There's a percentage, but there has to be boundaries. So in this relationship, there's definitely no boundary. I know it's work taking them out together, but even outside of work, because work is 9 to 5, 9 p.m. is not work time in hotel. Saturday, they are going shopping. The man said anytime, and they travel like once in like 2-3 months or once in a quarter. And anytime they work for one big IT company and they are colleagues, unfortunately. And I think closeness and loneliness. So I have a feeling that the woman is really she's doing something. We're not sure. I have a feeling. That's what I said. So let's go to intellectual intimacy. It comes when spouses share a vibrant life of mind with each other. It may be a discussing a book. Do we go for a walk? That's intellectual intimacy. Do we go for a walk? Do we read together? Do we laugh together? It's not about on the bed. Some people feel intimacy has to only be on the bed. Let that person feel you, the you that you pour out at work. I remember in those days I was too much into my law practice, and then anytime I get home, I would have been busy at work. I've done so much at work, and when I get home, I become a zombie. My husband said to me, and usually he will come and pop through my office and he'll see me. So when we go home and I get home and I'm doing, he said, just do, as much as you were vibrant at work, bring that vibrancy back. Don't, unless you don't want to go to work. And I woke up, I brainstormed, and that's just. I wasn't pretending. I would have talked and talked and talked and talked and do a lot of things. So by the time I get home, they are the one that will bear the brunt of the whole day. And he said to me, let somebody's head be very right in this house. As much as you'll be vibrant and do your thing, I want double in this house. So that saw me making him into my friend. So we'll recount today, we'll talk about it. So it's about discussing a book, discussing your cases, discussing a movie, sitting down, watching a movie. Some of us, we can't even sit down to watch a movie, snug together, the film, the concert, talk about things. Even if you are Christian, share each other's feelings, share thoughts, ask him, what do you think? I like that. Okay, this project I want to do, pick his brain. Let that person be part of you. Don't you see, it's not about sexual. We're going to talk about sexual intimacy, which is what most of us think. But aside from the sex, let it be. Those days, I just don't want to start saying it. I remember there was a time we went to Nigeria together. I keep saying that. And we went to visit a couple, and both of them were like, we were, they were the hosts. We hosted them eventually because we were both because we talk about everything. You should be able to talk about everything. Dear, we used to call ourselves there. And when we start, you just pick. You don't have starting point or stopping point. You just pick. How are you today? What are you doing at work? Whatever he says he's doing will lead to conversation. So talk. Share each other's feelings, ambition, it may be knowing that you share similar social, political, religious, just talk. Let your spouse feel you. That's intimacy. Let him or her feel you. It doesn't have to be some of us, and for you, even if she's not as intelligent as you are, brush her up. Don't some men, what are you going to contribute? No. Let us remember that they are our mates, they are partners, they are our spouses. So no matter what, let her come on board, bring her up to speech to where you are. So start heart-to-heart conversation. Heart-to-heart conversation is let every day. Do you know what happened at my work today? And so what happened? That your boss. You are not there. It's not of your thing, but it's a form of intimacy. As you're going, what are we eating today? I remember at work, you'll be testing me, dear, what am I eating when I get to home? At 12 o'clock, and I'll be saying you're gel, olojukokoro. That means you're a glutton. So we'll laugh. So even on our way, we'll talk about everything. Talk about the person you see on the train. Talk about your career. Talk about the movie you watch. Talk about family. So that's the way. Somebody is testing me. I want to join your online platform. Obviously, I can't pause. Just go on Facebook, Dolakwa Goradeni, or on YouTube. So we start heart-to-heart conversation, and that's improves your emotional and intellectual intimacy. But most times your conversation, let it just be free. It could be sharing stuff about every day, then concerns that we're, there's a way, concern that you have about your family, even your own fears. your own fears, weaknesses. Be free to share it. I don't even understand. I think I'm not at grip with what is happening. Just share, a joke about yourself, laugh with yourself, dance. I say to people, dance, dance when you are together, dance. I don't want to start telling you, dance naked for your spouse. Just do silly things. It's amusing. It brings intimacy because a man or a woman wants to know that this is all me. Remember, you're one. Both of you coming together comes into oneness. So nothing should hinder you from pouring yourself out. Stop pouring yourself out to your colleague, to your friend. What that lady is doing, and it's not only her. There's several. And if I will not blame the man, blame the lady, I will not blame the man. Because but I think there's a foundational defect in both of them. you know, Say jokes, talk, laugh, fart on each other. Sometimes again, deep intimacy can come without knowledge. It's just holding each other, is watching his football or movie. Just go there and put your head. Some of us cannot even put our head on our spouse's lap. Some of us your spouse cannot sit down. You put your leg on his leg and just be tickling him without talking. Or just have a glance at him, a long consoling hug, just hug him. You know, I think we should just, also help each other out. That's intimacy as well. I remember there was a year this man came to my house and met my husband cooking. Sometimes when I have professional exam, he always says to me, "Don't worry, I'll give you a month, just study." So I go to work, I come back, I'm just studying, and he will sort out dinner. So this particular man came to our house. He knows us. He was like a handy person that works for us. And he came to the house and he saw my late husband in the kitchen making food. And he was like, Pastor, you making food. And I just sat on the staircase there talking to him. Usually I'll clear up, I'll wash dishes, I'll do everything. I was like, what has this woman turned you into? And everything. I started laughing. That's African men. We don't put our mouth where our business is. You see, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people's home has been destroyed. I listened to a program somebody shared with me, one talk show as well on YouTube. And then this woman made a mistake of saying things that her husband helps her with chores at home and cooks. If you see the way people lambasted that woman, I'm sure, and she said her husband was listening. I'm sure they've destroyed the only thing. They said, no, he's a useless man. A proper African man will not be cooking for his wife, will not be shopping. She was just bragging and not bragging. She was just being that as far as her husband helps her. And the man was talking, and I was like, so to me, that could have been the only thing that brings a bond. You see, it's high time we stop minding our own businesses. It's high time we stopped it, please. We don't mind our own business. And I just felt for the woman. She was just saying her thing out. That could have been the only thing that keeps a bond between these two people. That keeps them. So there's nothing wrong with you doing house chores together, bathing together. All these things keeps you very intimate. Intimacy is very good. The act of go for a walk together, jog together, plan your day together, walk, do things, have a shower together, have a bath together, eat together, cook together. May the soul of my husband rest with everybody that knows me knows. If you see me, in fact, after I passed, some people thought I was not going to survive. Because if you see him, just look around you. Obviously, he doesn't drive. I'm the driver. He's the navigator. So just look around. If you just see him sighting, just look behind. I'll be looking around somewhere. Or see, several times people are asking, they see him at the shopping center and they're like, where's, and you say, oh, she's parked outside, she's waiting for me. That's true. Because sometimes I'll just park, because of parking, and you just dashing. But what I'm trying to say, do chores together. We come back from work, we pick our trainer, we walk together, we do things together, we're in church together. I'm not saying your life has to be, but it's a kind of togetherness. It brings that intimacy so that even there are times, there's situations in life. When these situations happen, these are things that glue you together. Right, okay, I'm reading another comment. Karen Apple, some Africans still have that slave master mentality and feels everyone's home should be like that. Yeah, it's so bad. And the unfortunate thing is we don't keep our mouth shut. You see, I don't have any problem with God bless. I don't have any problem, but our mouth, you see, what happens, what works in your house does not work in my house. I said they destroyed this woman's marriage within second. That then I was like, oh my God. They said, what a useless man. An African man she must not be shopping for his wife. It is the wife. By the time they said, I said, my God, peradventure, this is the only thing. They did not know. What if the woman is the breadwinner and the man is only helping out? But they destroyed the only thing they had. I remember you both, my lovely dolly couple. Thank you. Thank God. That's why sometimes it's not good to be lying. I happy used to know us in Dagenham in those days. We follow is in Yoruba land. They say when the snail cross, the shell follows. We follow ourselves, So thank you, ma. Spiritual intimacy is another thing that keeps us together. If I finish without talking about spiritual intimacy, I'm still going to talk about sexual intimacy as well. So all these things are what glue. So I feel what this lady misses is what this man is giving her. I said I gave an example of a lady that spoke to me. Spoke to me about 2-3 years ago. I remember she came from Africa, and her concern was her husband relegated her. This lady said she begs for attention. Meanwhile, at work, her work colleague is giving her everything, every attention. Oh, baby, you look nice today. Your husband must be happening. Your hair is nice. You look good. It's easy for a woman. We all need attention. Befriend your wife. Befriend your husband. Don't let outsider befriend them. Because when outsider befriends them now, then we will now be feeling bad. Such is this man now. I personally blame the woman, but I've not spoken to her. We're not sure what is pushing her. She could be one of those careless ones. There are some careless ladies that are just taking their husband, because as far as the husband said, he said they are intimate, they are close. There are some men that's just women that have just taken what they've got for granted until they lose it, and they just, isn't my husband, and they are flirting with another, because what she's doing is flirting. So spiritual intimacy should not be dismissed, because some of us only you say, prayer is a personal encounter with God, but letting your husband and wife pray together. I know there's a couple, they're going out, and the woman will say, let us pray. Say, do your own prayer, do my own prayer. Mm-mm. Even if he doesn't know, and the reason why he's doing that is he feels is not where she is. Where she is. When I heard, I started laughing at both of them. Yeah, he may not be where you are, or you may not be where she is. This is a marriage. So prayer is personal encounter with God, but it's a good thing when you allow each other into the place of prayer. So pray, it's a petition that you have to make. And because you are soulmates now, remember, when the two of you come together, you become soulmates. You're twined together, two hearts that are beating as one. So you must ensure that your home, you have that spiritual intimacy. You're able to pray together. He's able to wake you up. You're able to wake him up. The physical intimacy is special as well. Well, I know you want me to talk about sexual intimacy, which I'm going to talk about, but the most important thing I want you to take home is spiritual intimacy is good. People that, Auntie, I didn't know you two are online. People are catching me tonight. Pastor, you are saying the true story about our late pastor. I stayed with you for some time. Yes, Auntie stayed with us for some time in Dagenham, and that's why it's not good to lie. I didn't even know you were online. Bless you, Auntie. You see, we're so close and so intimate. We shower together. I told him one day that, listen, this our bathing together is coming, because we end up doing some other things when we are bathing. We're supposed to bath, and then because we talk, you see, that's good. When you see good example, I said that before. It was a neighbor of mine, a friend of ours, a pastor. Anytime we knock on, they call themselves Cherry. Because when we knock on their door, Cherry, one person, they will stand us and they come back. We realize they're coming out of bathroom. So we now said, first we said one day, who is Cherry? Because I thought the woman was Cherry. So Cherry is flower. So because the woman will say Cherry. One day I had the man say Cherry. I said, come, which one is Cherry out of both of you? Then we laughed. Then there was a day we went to their house in the evening. And then we knock, and then they were both coming out of the bathroom, and they said they bath together in the morning, and they bath together in the night. My husband said, okay, from today we are bathing together. I said the morning thing will not do because we're always in a rush. So in the evening, we made the point of duty to be bathing together. But I realized our own bathing was leading to something. And then I said to him, the people that taught us how to bath together, they were only bathing and leaving the bathroom. Our own bathing is leading to something else. So I stopped bathing. So what I'm trying to say is, look for good. It's your home. It's your life. It's your family. I don't understand why people marry and they're in bondage. I don't understand. When I'm saying things like this, it looks like, oh, she's just talking. Please make it a point of duty to marry your friend. And it's not too late. Make effort. When you go to so-so-so's house and you see loving things, introduce it to your home. They are not strangers. It's not everything we bring home, but the good ones. Especially, you're missing. And somebody, hey, what are they doing? I could have gone and say, you're just me, what are they doing? Hey, frivolous people. They are bathing together. And you are in a room, hey, and then you are flirting with, no. Be intimate with your friend. I'm not saying you have to bath together, you have to sleep together, you have to walk together, but these things are what keeps the bond. Nowadays, divorce is so rife, it's increasing so much, and the essence of it is people are growing out of marriage. They're growing apart. The children are leaving the house, and suddenly they realize, Uncle Daddy is sitting on the side of the sofa reading his own book. Mommy is watching Hollywood. Hello, Daddy, it's time to eat. Come on. Then after a while, mommy will just go with the children and just leave daddy there, or daddy will start messing about with little children because there's no bond. So try as much as possible to lubricate. It's an effort. Remember, marriage and union and relationship is hard work. It's hard work. We have to work on it. Go to where he's sitting. The first day, a typical African man would say, what's the meaning of this rubbish? When did we start? When you see men that, so you've left the gap. Some of us, so like a friend was saying to me that while I was in Nigeria, we were talking with my friend, and she said to me that she doesn't enjoy kissing and she doesn't kiss her husband. That irritates her. I said, fair enough. So what do you do? What do you do? What's the act of your love making? And she told me some other things. I said, okay, fair enough. If kissing is not good for you, make it up in another way. But kissing is not good. Love making is not good. Sex is not good for you. What is not good for you? Cooking itself is not good for you. Go for a walk is not work. All you go is you go to church, you tie scarf, you do rap. And at the end of the day, your husband will start messing about. You will be messing about. We don't want that. We want you to restore intimacy. You have to enjoy each other's company. So, sexual intimacy is what I've just said. Sexual intimacy is the act of both of you ravishing each other, discovering yourselves, knowing where to touch. And that was what myself and that pastor was talking about, our friend that we're talking about. Because the moment she saw, thank you. Oh, okay, we see. Okay, Yoba. The moment she saw somebody else speaking her language, love language, she started flirting with this man. She started flirting, and to be honest with you, like I said, I don't judge people because I try to see where people are coming from. So she's left her marriage now, and she's with this other man. And she said to me, the man answers everything. Every 16, 17 years I wasted in marriage, I saw it because the man was able to. So sexual thing, explore each other. Don't be frigid. It's your man. It's your woman. And men, please, because that happens to we Nigerian men. It's a lie. They are trying to do it outside. What's the meaning of this? When did we start that one? Leave me. Don't leave them. Jump on them. Jump. It's your husband. It's your wife. Smack a bomb. Touch her. Do things. It's your spouse. It's your wife. Everything you want, everything you've thought about, everything you wish to do that you fantasize about, do it on her. Do it on him. No point doing it outside. Everything you want to do, and that is the problem. Do it on her. Call her to say this. We have to do this. We have to try this. Don't whatever. Like I said, sex between two consenting adults in your room or marriage adults. I don't get involved. Whatever you do between yourself, that is your own palaver. The most important thing is be intimate. So now sometimes you should understand that your body speaks. Try to find out where you touch her, where you touch him, what can be done, what can bring the vibration, what explore, ask. And when you finish making love to each other, it's always good to say, did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did I satisfy you? And be open. And when you, woman, you are not experiencing anything, say to him, I feel you should just. I remember a woman said to her husband that, I think, oh, you are still here to discover me, and he said, am I Mongo Park that I'm discovering you? So they are laughing about it. Discover, be free. And when I heard that, I laughed. But it's true. She's just trying to say, get to know me. There's no point in me fantasizing or having erosions for some other person. Let the man know you. Let them know where you want to be touched. Let them know all that you want to do. And, just be human. We are not perfect. At times we all fall short in one area or the other. But don't let trust be broken like in this relationship. Let's deeply reach out to express our love, to change what can be changed, and and be intimate with ourselves. Physical intimacy as well is so special, and it's profound because it lays bare our body in the beauty of imperfection. Let us learn to understand ourselves. Such a needed conversation, bedroom talk. Yes, let us learn to understand ourselves. Let us learn to explore ourselves. Let us learn to lay ourselves bare by ourselves. Touch any touchable. Those are areas. It's not only sex. I said it's not only when you are doing the real thing that is sex, but holding hands, gazing in each other's eyes, going for a walk, talking, touching, laughing, gossiping, gisting, saying everything, dance naked, let him be there in the room and you just be dancing naked. Just, it's been said that in every man or woman, every one of us, there's a child that wants to. We remember the old days. Sometimes I'm in my room. I still did it this morning. I'll be in my mirror and I'll be dancing. And sometimes I'll look at myself like, you're being a fool. It's the girl in me playing by myself. So some of us in the bathroom we dance, in the kitchen. Some of us, I know this will resonate with some of you. You just laugh. Sometimes you just do silly things and you'll be mimicking, and you just sometimes look at yourself and say, are you a big fool? Yes, there's a child in us that wants to come out. And that's why people, after a while, their relationship becomes a drag. They just realize, yes, there's a child. Thank you, Dr. Arba. Yeah, they just realize, I can't live the rest of my life with this man or this woman. It's boring because the man is not speaking our language. The woman is not speaking our language. We are not free. You want to be touched. You can't say, baby, touch me. And this is where I want you to touch me. This is where I want you to touch me. This tickles me. We are forming. We are pretending. We are packaging. And if that is the case, that's when yes, thank you so much. That's what it is. Dr. Rabbi said that our children wonder why I'm so childlike. It's so stressful. Listen, to be honest with you, I used to be people that knew my late husband knows, I used to be very frigid. He's the most unserious person in heaven and earth, because I used to be so frigid. And whatever he brings, he will just be laughing at me. He will tickle me. One day I said to him, stop pulling my boobs. He will pull your boobs in the kitchen. So what's wrong with you? And I'm like, what's wrong with this man? So he made me, eventually, I knew the art of relaxing because I stopped being serious. It was so, sometimes I'll say to him, don't you think? And he was like, think again. What am I thinking? If there's anybody that laughs about everything. So what I'm trying to say, when I'm married, I was different. I'm still too much into myself. I'm into myself, and I was the serious person. Everything matters to me. He was the most unserious person in a good way. He's career oriented, he's doing everything. But what I'm saying is, he's just so nonchalant, and he just wants, he just wants to enjoy his life and laugh. So I used to get angry, and then he will say to me, calm yourself down. And even those days that it brings, no matter what happens, when I'm with him 10, 15 minutes, I'm laughing. So let us find that comfort. Let's know our spouse. Yeah, thank you. Karen Apple said, playing hide and seek can be fun too. Yes, hide and seek is good. Anything that we do that will make us close. It's not only sex, like I said, that brings glue in a relationship. All this physical, spiritual, emotional, intellectual thing brings us together. Have you seen a situation whereby your spouse is not at home a day and it looks like the end of the world has come, and you are calling? That's the way to be. He must be missed. You must be missed. But some people we're so happy when our spouses go, that 1 week or two, I'm happy. We've lost it. That's what's causing all this divorce. It's causing divorce because the gaps keep widening and widening and widening. And one day, we just look and say, I can't be bothered with this man. I can't be bothered with this woman. And there's this nice bobo or nice babe at work that is checking us out. And those guys knows how to say the right thing to us and say, baby, you're looking fine. Baby, look at your hair. Baby, and your husband has not baby you, or you have not baby him. Please go home and say baby to your wife. Go and say baby to your husband. African men, they say rubbish. Was Dolapo, when did that start? When did you start this baby business? Tell them you are starting today. We are starting our own baby today. Let us baby ourselves. It doesn't have to be baby. Give yourself pet names. Laugh around the house. Joke. Sing. Shower together. Bath together. Go for a walk. Go to shopping. Talk about your fears, about your limitations, about your ambitions. Just be close so that person, I want my husband to be my best friend. And one of the things I said, and to be honest, is still part of me till tomorrow. In my relationship, from day one, I tell my spouse, whatever you do, even if you kill somebody, let me know. I get angry when I hear from outside. So create that safe space. Not that when he say, hey, the whole house, come and help me, this useless man, no. He won't tell you another one. So let him find solace in you. Like Proverbs 31 said, the heart of our husband does trust us so much that, she will not bring harm. He will not bring harm. I think we're far gone. I don't know if anybody wants to say any other thing. But the act of intimacy in union is very important. And you cannot be intimate with a third party. Your intimacy has to be towards your husband. You must bond. And they are both naked and not ashamed. Both of you must bond. You must be together. You must do things together, financial, physical. Let us just be close. Let's speak the same language. Let us laugh. Like Dr. Rabba said, life is too short. Laugh about everything. Be free. Fact, look at somebody on Instagram, a friend that said, her husband forbid her from farting in the house. They're divorced now. She said it is still on my Instagram page that he set out rules. That's our own contribution. He gave me a lot of rules to follow in the marriage after we were married. Farting is one of them. Can you imagine? You must not fart in this house. You have to come and put something to choke my bum because I will fart. If I want to fart, you have to run from bedroom to toilet. Fart will disappear before I go there. What's the meaning of that? Instead of you fart or say, hey, you've given me one, I'll give you two. This is supposed to be your friend. But if we are not doing that, then we expose ourselves to strangers. I pray that the Lord will help. Mary had does good like a medicine. Yes, ma. Yes, ma. Yeah, okay. There's another comment. If a wise woman, a foolish woman tears her own down. That's true. And a wise woman use her own hands to build her own home. Please, every one of us, I beg of us in Jesus' name, intimacy is good, and you cannot afford to be intimate with a third party. Intimacy has to be a bond between you and your spouse. Yeah, we can be intimate. You know, we've talked about it. You can be intimate. I have a friend, but there should be boundaries. It's not everything that we say, but when he could have brought her a fatty pouch, fatty couch. That would work. I will not even sit on that part. I will fat on the bed where I am now. What's the meaning of that? Give me your own. I give. I know some people. Some people don't like smell. I've met somebody that told me I don't like smell, and I used to tell my wife don't fart there. And then when you fart, and some people, to be honest, it's bad. When you fart and then they are eating, they will lose appetite. They won't be able to eat that food. I pray I don't marry that kind of person because, if I fart, when I was married, I will fart. I need to fart. He said, hey, you've done one. I'll repay you back, but we have that understanding. Before I was still trying to do the, prim and proper thing, and yeah, he was the one that sit down, and by the time he started frustrating me in the house, I woke up and I was just like, oh, is it that I joined this guy? I'm in his own world, or I end up in this mind being frustrated. So follow after your heart. There's no hard and fast rule on a serious note as we round up. It depends on what works for you, or what works in your marriage, or what works in your relationship. But the most important thing, get close, have a bond with your husband, be very intimate. Try everything that the Lord will put in your way to make sure that your marriage works. It's not worth it that we have spent 10, 15 years together and we're divorcing when we ought to be enjoying our old age and we're starting another relationship. It's not worth it. But when we leave gaps, when we allow outsiders to infiltrate our marriages, then things doesn't all go well at the end of the day. I pray the Lord will heal your home in Jesus' name. Karen Apple said, I fat and hold him down to enjoy the aroma with me and say there is love in sharing. We laugh and he does the same. That is just it. That's what my husband used to do for me. He will pull me and fat. And I was saying, yeah. After a while, I mastered the game too. So me too, when I want to fat, I just do like reproof. And then you say, hey, you don't, but there are some fats that are so terrible that will run out of the house. I say, no. So, but what we're trying to say is, whatever brings you joy, just make sure you're close. Make sure you speak the same language. Make sure you allow joy of the Lord to be there. You cannot afford to be a stranger in your own home, or be walking on eggshell in your own home. And for how long? For 50, 60 years of marriage? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And then when the children are gone, then you realize there's a huge gap. Daddy will be on this side of the sofa. Mommy will be on this side. Mommy will just wait that the children have given back. Hey, Daddy, Funke has just given back in America. I want to go and do Omugo. And then Daddy will start following all those granite seller in the neighborhood. It's not worth it. Let us build our homes now. The God of peace will help us. So thank you so much, everyone that's come online tonight. Dr. Arabag, thank you, despite your busy schedule. Karen Apuch, thank you so much, my darling sister. And everyone on Instagram, Ajayobe. The Lord bless us. The Lord keep us as we are wise, building and helping others. Our home will secure with the blood of Jesus, and the grace of the Lord will continue to be sufficient unto us. Until next week, Wednesday. If you have any topic you want me to talk about, please inbox me. Until next week, Wednesday, when I come back your way, keep shining. The Lord bless you. The Lord keep you and make his face to shine upon us all. In Jesus' name. Good night and God bless you all. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.